Hi, my name is Jennifer Joyner. I live in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm legally blind and I have a learning disability. 2 years ago on October 30th, Joshua was assaulted at Parkville Middle School. It was 4 days after he had major hernia surgery. The school did not inform me. I tried to get a hold of the school. Finally, the principal calls me at 5 and tells me he was busy. That was the first thing. When Josh walked in the door, he had scratches and bruises all over his neck, face, blood was all over him. I asked him what happened, and he said a teacher's assistant assaulted him in school in front of his classmates and 2 other teachers, that she went after him 4 different times to the point where he passed out and stopped breathing. I eventually tried to go to the police station to file charges on several occasions. I was told I had no rights to file charges. I didn't have any rights. I went to the commissioner's office to try to file charges, the same thing. In the process of each time I was at the police station or the commissioner's office, I would get threatening phone calls on my cell phone. I have witnesses that were standing there as this was happening, and they never took the original documents. Eventually, we ended up in Baltimore City, which is Baltimore City, Baltimore County. I went to file charges again, and these are the documents from there. I was told that I cannot press charges whatsoever. I went back to the commissioner's office, where in front of a room full of people, he told me to shut up because I was obstructing justice, and that he would have me arrested if I tried to do anything. I informed him I have friends that are of the police force and told me my rights. I have a year from the day to press charges. He told me to shut up. I asked for the state's attorney's office, because that's who called me a month and a half later about the video of Joshua being assaulted, and told me I couldn't do anything because the buck stopped there with him. Went up to the state's attorney's office. The commissioner followed me up there with the sheriff, threatened to throw me in jail. It was harassing phone calls. My house has been broken in. I had my window sliced open. This has been going on for 2 years. Joshua is not safe at any public school in the state of Maryland, because no one here in Maryland will help me. About several months ago, I got a phone call from someone using a BG&E non-working number, yelling and screaming and telling me my son and I will be thrown in jail. I know where you live. You are blind. These are the things they would tell me, which is very scary. I am blind. They would tell me that I'm blind and where I lived. When I called the number back, it said it was a BG&E number. 2 days later, a letter shows up in the mail for juvenile court. I called that number, and the woman told me it was the judge who called me. Josh has never been arrested. They tampered with his files and said he was in school on days he wasn't. Every time Baltimore County or Baltimore City sent me to a school, they knew who he was, asked us if we knew another family member, and Josh responded yes, and eventually Josh was assaulted, and I was assaulted at the Board of Education, where I was thrown up against the wall twice, in front of Josh and other family members. My home had an axe put in it a week and a half later. An hour and a half after I found it, I went back outside, and there was the door kicked open again, but the knob was locked. I have pictures of men footprints, 2 sets of men footprints, leading in and out of my backyard up to my shed. I came home Christmas Eve in the evening, and my front door was open. It's getting to the point I need someone to help me. I'm getting no help in Maryland, and my child is not safe in school. We're not safe within our home. Somebody please help us for justice for Josh. All of our civil rights have been violated. I thought if we lived in the good old USA, where we have people fighting for us, that nobody's above the law, whether they work for the law. Can somebody help Joshua and me? I greatly appreciate it. I don't think I can do another year of this. It's been 2 years already. Thank you so much, and have a blessed New Year's.